Howdy, everyone. Mike here with History in the Mirror again. And time for another special edition podcast. I talked about when I posted the intro video that I was going to get a little political. Well, here we go. Um, I'm gonna deal with this COVID mess. We had somebody come in today at work, a client, and I hit basically at that particular point. Uh, I hit that phase where it's just it's Popeye again, but I'm not gonna go off on somebody. Okay, it was pretty sad. Here, this guy, older gentleman, I would say he's pushing 80 if he's not there yet. Him and his wife have been great clients of ours for a lot of years. And his wife is in the hospital, and he's pretty beside himself that he can't even go visit her right now. And she's been having some heart problems, I think. So, you know, it made me pretty sad because here's this guy, and as advanced in years as these two are, they're probably been together 50 plus years, would be my guess. Okay, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking this: if I've been with my spouse for that long, and they could potentially be on their deathbed, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be wanting to spend time with them. I'm going to be wanting to be talking to them. I'm going to be wanting to be praying with them and praying for them. So to see this precious man not be able to go visit his wife and see the anguish on his face and hear the disgust in his voice, I was pretty disgusted, and I was sad for him. I was very, just my heart went out to him. It really did. Um, I'm going to throw this out there, and send me hate mail if you want. It's fine. I can handle it. But I want you to really just think about this. If you're listening to this, and I just want you to think about this. It is my opinion right now that the cure for this COVID thing has become worse than the disease. Exactly the thing that our president said we need not let happen. It has become worse than the disease itself. Okay. I have another person who we know who had a relative commit suicide because of stress of not being able to run their business and financial stress starting to get to them, and took their life, a business owner. And I talked to another client who is a dentist, and they've been closed down for like 6 weeks. And I just asked, I said the one day I just asked, I think this was a week ago, I said, so how are you guys doing? Are you going to be able to get back on track? You're going to be able to start working again? What's going on? And she says, well, the state is going to let us open in the middle of the month, but I can't get any PPE for my people. So until I get some, I can't go back to work. And I'm like, wow. So, all right. So I know I have medical professionals who may be watching this, and it's okay. Has the level of panic over this thing been warranted? Has the level of panic been warranted to the point that we are denying other people in the healthcare industry, and yes, a dentist is a person in the healthcare industry, denying them the ability to get back to work because we have to stockpile PPE for a surge that was projected that didn't even come close to happening. All right? This thing is done. We are not spiking upwards anymore. We are spiking downwards. Okay? Listen to who you want to listen to on this thing. Listen to Fauci. Listen to the Erickson guy out in California, whatever. Listen to another doctor that we listened to down in Texas. Talk about the drug cocktail that she gave people for the COVID, and now she can't prescribe it anymore because by some kind of directive, they're supposed to deny people the ability to get these drugs for this thing. All right. When is this going to end? When is enough enough? All right. Enough is enough for me right now. I got on, and this is what I want to encourage everybody to do. Okay. Number one, a few small things. I'm going to be brief. A few small things to do, but they're huge things. Okay. If you know somebody who has a story to tell, which pretty much everybody has a story to tell, okay, about how this thing has affected them. What it's time to do is it's time to bust out your computer. It's time to bust out a pen and paper if you're not the writing on the computer type. It's time to get in contact with your elected representatives in Washington. It's time to get in contact with your governor. I thank God I live in South Dakota. That's all I've got to say. I've heard people say bad things about, South Dakota's, whatever. It doesn't matter. I've heard people say things, and I'm thankful to God that I live here. I'm thankful to God that my governor is a constitutionalist, and she has said that publicly. And I'm thankful, okay? But here's the deal. Those of you, our listeners, my listeners, people that I love dearly, those of you who have been affected negatively in some way, shape, or form, or somebody that has been negatively affected by these lockdowns, these crazy stay-at-home things. If you know somebody, encourage them to either tell their story on their own or allow you to help them tell their story. Okay? We need to bombard our elected leaders' offices with our stories. Here's the thing. I wish that I got the sound bite for this, but I don't have it right now. Roadhouse. Y'all remember years ago, Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott did this movie called Roadhouse, and it's Patrick Swayze's coming in to clean up this bar that, this nightclub that is just a debacle, and he's briefing all of the bouncers there on how they are to conduct themselves. And the thing that he says is, be nice. I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice. And a question was asked of him, how will we know? And he said, you won't. I will tell you. I'm not going to tell you to not be nice. Okay. But my thinking goes back to that. It goes back to be nice. And that's what we need to do. They get hate mail every single day. I look at, and it's interesting. Sometimes you look at, you're trolling through the news feed, you're scrolling through the news feed on Facebook, and you see something posted by an elected representative. Like we're on Dan Crenshaw's page. I'm on John Thune, Mike Rounds, and Dusty Johnson's page just because they're my local representatives. Dan Crenshaw is amazing. I think he's really pushing hard to do a great work for our nation. And you look at something they post, and then you go to read the comments. It's like, cue the circus music. Dun, 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 dun. It's just, they get, I would probably say, if I were to look at it and actually count, probably 90% of the stuff these people have to deal with is negative. You don't know how to do your job. You're just a blankety blank, this, that, and the other. And yes, I've seen cursing on there. And it's like, all right, Grow up, clean it up. Don't be stupid, okay? Be respectable to these people, all right? You will get a lot farther if you treat these people with dignity and respect than you will if you come out with fists flying, spit flinging, cussing all over the place, pointing a finger and saying you ain't doing your job, you ain't worth, 2 cents rubbing together with the lint in my pocket. You know what I mean? So be nice. Let's be nice and let's be respectful and let's be honorable and let's honor them. Okay. I don't care if they don't deserve it. Oh, well, they don't deserve it. Bless God, they do. So what? Okay, go back to Scripture and what it says. It says we are to hold them in esteem, hold them in high esteem. And to me, that means to be nice and to be honorable. Okay, so contact your elected representatives. Let's flood their inboxes with stories about how people's lives have been impacted. This person that I know whose relative committed suicide over this. Now, she is just beside herself. And they're going to have to deal with that for the rest of their lives. Okay, someone they were very close to because of the financial stress that happened because their business had to close because of this thing. All right? They have to live with that. They're going to have to grieve however long they need to grieve. And they'll probably, they're going to think back on this and they're going to go, man, that's just, Okay, so let's tell or help tell stories. All right? Number 2, vote. As far as I'm concerned, and here's another thing too. Friends of ours said this, and they said, we've never voted in our life until now. And we've had enough. We're both getting registered and we're both voting. We're going for it. Okay, if you've never registered to vote, if you've never voted in your life, now is the time to start. Okay, let's do our due diligence and help turn things that we want to have turned. Well, my vote in a sea of 1 million people is like trying to make a wave in the ocean by dropping a grain of sand in it. Okay. Be a constituent. Get registered to vote. Because when you send a letter to, and this is just the way it works. Send a letter to your elected representative. If you're not registered to vote, if you're not a registered voter, you get tossed. Okay? Let your voice be heard, folks. Let your voice be heard. Get registered to vote and vote. I live in South Dakota. I love South Dakota. Get on your local Secretary of State's website and find out how you can register to vote. You can register to vote by mail in South Dakota. You can download off of the Secretary of State's website. You can download the form and then send it in to your county's register, your voter registration office. And the information is very easy to find. Okay? Just go and do a Google search. Lincoln County, South Dakota, Minnehaha County, South Dakota, Rock County, Minnesota, Pipestone County, Minnesota, whatever, Cook County, Illinois. Okay? Look it up and get registered to vote. Let's start doing our civic duty. Let's let our voices be heard. We can't afford to be passive anymore, folks. We just cannot. There is too much at stake. We've got to tell our stories to these people so they know exactly what has happened in here. All right, exactly what's happening in this nation. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be telling our story. If we've got a story, tell it. Okay, and the third thing I want, tell your story or help someone else tell your story. Get registered to vote and get in touch, speak to your elected representatives. That's what they're there for. The original intent of the way this government, this republic was founded was for us to be the voice. Okay, for us to be the voice and the representatives and senators to be the mouthpiece for us, okay, to go and fight for us, not to go fight for their political party, not to go fight for the agenda that they have personally, not to go have a vendetta against the president. You know, they were supposed to go, the original intent with this whole thing was for them to go to Washington, them to contact us. Okay, we have this issue coming up, this particular thing. What do you think? And then we as constituents contact the representative, senator, whatever, and say, okay, I think it stinks. I think it's great. What about this? Okay, my business is this, and I can see that being negatively affected. Okay, that's how it was originally supposed to work. Let's try to do our best to contact our representatives and our senators and make sure that they have a finger on the pulse of what's happening in their districts and their states. Okay. Anyway, enough of that. The third thing I want to just really encourage you guys to do is pray, whether you're a prayer or not. I know, there's going to be, this is, a history podcast. There's going to be people who aren't praying. There's going to be people who are. I really would love to encourage you to pray and seek the face of God as to get things going again. And what are we to do? Okay. And one thing that just came to me that we can do is when we're out in society, be nice, smile, laugh. Take your mask off and smile at somebody, for crying out loud. People need that. People need that emotional connection. We need that emotional connection with each other. Okay. I personally, don't wear a mask when I go to the store, and I'm smiling at people all the time. I'll smile and just give them a nice hello. You smile and say hello. Just let people know that it's not such a doom and gloom thing, that there are people out there who really, like us, like me anyway, I want to do that. I want to let people know, you know what, hey, it's going to be okay. Just sometimes just a reassuring smile is all people need. All right. So anyway, let's go and let's be light in this world. Let's be a voice. Let's get it done. Let's tell people stories. All right. Let's encourage people to go and tell their story or help them to tell it. Get out and vote. Talk to your elected representatives. Be that voice. Get their finger on the pulse of what's happening here. All right. Pray. And let's just go around and be nice. Let's smile at people. Let's bring some light into this dark world. Okay? Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I sure appreciate it very much. And I hope you guys are getting something out of this. Let me know in the comments down there. You can let me know in the email. I got my email on there. You can do that. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, hey, a week from Monday is Memorial Day. I'm planning to have a pretty special episode up. It's pretty near and dear to my heart. And it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited to start working on it. I've actually, begun some work, but I just need to get more into the construction phase of it and get it ready to go for you. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. So thanks for tuning in. God bless you all.